What's going on, everybody? This is an episode from the No Gimmicks Needed Wrestling podcast. Do you like podcasts and you want to see the full podcast? Make sure you check out the No Gimmicks Needed Wrestling podcast on all your podcast platforms, such as Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, iHeartRadio, among many others. But you're listening to the episode right here on YouTube, so make sure you hit that like button and below, and make sure you hit the subscribe button to NC Studios and NC Level Up for all your gaming needs. This is the Nerd Coalition. Enjoy the show. AEW, we got some. They have a pay-per-view on Sunday. Double or Nothing. Double or Nothing is like their SummerSlam. Because all in or all out is like their WrestleMania or one of their biggest shows. We know there's some issues with AEW right now. Big issues. So, and Double or Nothing's coming to the MGM Grand Garden Arena. And,
I just want to say this at the beginning.
Yeah.
I'm bored.
Says you're bored?
Yeah, with AEW.
Okay, I'm listening.
I don't know. And this is me just once again speaking freely. I think they put on some rather good matches. I've definitely been entertained in match quality of what I've seen. I don't know if it's the fact that they give away such good match quality sometimes on regular TV. So when it'd be like, oh, we got a stat card, I'm like, but don't you got kind of a stat card every week? Or is it this fact that the lack of the build up into the storylines that just doesn't carry me in? Like, it leaves me draw and bored, and that is why I can't seem to sink my teeth into AEW the way I can WWE. And I've been there with WWE when it was trash. It was garbage. But I was still interested to watch it, and I just don't hold that type of entertainment with AEW.
You're not wrong. Okay, you're not wrong. I was about to curse out because they just took my Revolution pay-per-view away. I was supposed to buy on DVD and I just missed the boat. Fuck. But anyway, they put out all this Ring of Honor shit, and I'm about to get into that in a minute. Here's my thing with AEW right now, because there are things that need to be changed. I'm not saying I'm not excited about the Tony Khan storyline, but AEW is partially our fault. And let me explain why. Because...
Right. Cook.
Yeah. It's our fault because everybody wants an alternative to WWE. And you don't see what certain things are doing right until somebody is overexposing them and doing them wrong. AEW was the thing was like, I want some good wrestling with some blood, with some hardcore matches, with some, those kind of things in there. And we get that in AEW. That's the alternative. But we get it frequently. The one thing about AEW that I said at the beginning needs to change is, like, I like indie wrestling. I don't love indie wrestling. And indie wrestling, because me and Chubbs had this whole argument back when we used to do the podcast, back on, I want to say, episode 15 of No Gimmicks Needed, where we had a whole argument of what's better, indie wrestling or, like the WWE style wrestling. And I just said the indie wrestling does not translate well to television. It doesn't. And now Tony Khan has done nothing but book these kind of dream match scenarios and big matches with no build to them, because you just want to see good wrestling, and that's fine. But then afterwards, you start realizing, why am I a wrestling fan in the first place? When you first became a wrestling fan, anybody that's listening to this on this thing right here, it was because of what was happening on your television screen. Mm-hmm. When you first got into ECW, when I first got into WCW, when I first got into WWE, the Attitude Era, it's because what was happening on your wrestling screen, because this is wrestling. Mm-hmm. When I turned to ECW for the first time, it wasn't because of Dean Malenko and A-Girl was having a 5-star match. It was because Bill Alfonso was holding up the fucking chair next to Jerry Lynn's head for RVD to jump from one side of the ring to the other. And I said, what is this?
Yup, it's because some man who I didn't know at the time was Tajiri spit this green mist out of his face, then did a flipping, diving drop buzzsaw kick through a 2x4 wrapped in barbed wire or Mikey Ripwreck, and I was like, what in the world is happening?
Exactly. When you watching the Attitude Era and you see PMS and you're like, who is this dude they rubbing on named Meat? You know what I'm saying? You know,
we did not need a meat reference in 2024.
Not at all. Not at all. But when you see that, or when you see the characters of Mankind or the Undertaker, and for me Vader and all that, when you see that, and same thing with WCW, when you see certain things, that's what got you into wrestling. And then all of a sudden you just got a little tired of it. Now you went over here to the alternative, but then all of a sudden the Boogeyman is gone. The Boogeyman has left WWE, and back when WWE was at their lowest, like I'm talking about that 2017, 18, 19 era, when it was just like this stuff was unwatchable. Them Raws and Smackdowns was especially Raw was unwatchable.
It was bad, bro.
Yeah, so they had to okay, the Boogeyman is gone. They had to learn that, and they had to build themselves back up. And now AEW has been banking on the fact that they be going up against Vince to the end of time. And I mean, honestly, why wouldn't you think that? But still, even with that being said, you have to make some changes. And that's the one thing I have not seen AEW really do much in its changes. So now that's affecting the crowd size, and it's also affecting the ratings. For the first time since Dynamite's existence, they went under 700,000 views in the ratings last week's Dynamite.
You know what I also feel, and you know, I don't help the ratings because I don't have cable TV in my home.
Yeah.
And it's doing a traditional thing. Everybody raised on WWE. It came on cable TV, and I don't have cable TV, so I'm not watching it because I don't have cable.
Yeah.
Also, I feel like Tony Khan be begging a lot, and that makes me not want to watch it. I don't know if that's a personal thing or not. You begging for views, and it's like, oh, then you must not be that good if you got to beg for them. Well, whereas I always give Vince this. He was like, yo, you gonna come back. Like, it's all right. And you did.
No. I'm going to disagree with you on that one because Vince begged too.
Okay.
And the issue... Here's my biggest issue with AEW and what I think one of the problem is. And here's the part that I think a lot of people are not going to agree with me on, especially Chubbs. You got to get rid of Ring of Honor. You got to get rid of it. And some of you may be saying, what does that got to do with one thing? Ring of Honor is being... The AEW is being spread way too thin right now. Which means if you're being spread too thin, you do not have the resources to focus on one thing. That's their problem. You have an AEW show that is focused on Dynamite, Rampage, and Collision, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, let me ask you this question, Carter, and I want you to answer these questions for me. When was the last time that you seen Athena?
I only see her on Rampage.
Keith Lee?
Not at all. Never.
Miro?
I almost forgot he worked there. He still works there? I thought he was injured.
See, okay, so now they're injured now, but there are a lot of stars that be just on Ring of Honor that we don't even see anymore. Because they're on Ring of Honor. But they need talent. I mean, well, they have talent, but they need something over here. I ain't know Private Party was even back for a while. It's time to turn it on. I was like, wait, Private Party's back? I'm a huge fan of Private Party. Then also, Samoa Joe was the Ring of Honor champion. You had MJF and Adam Cole that was the Ring of Honor tag team champions. You had the Acclaim that was the Ring of Honor trios champions, whatever they had over there. Athena's the women's champion. But nobody, if you're not a Ring of Honor fan, where do you go watch Ring of Honor at?
I have no idea.
Exactly.
None.
And you're trying to relive a company that, listen to this, nobody wants it. No television studio wants Ring of Honor. Tony Khan tried to sell it last year, a couple years ago,
last year.
Yeah, by bringing all these Ring of Honor talents or bringing the championships on Dynamite and Collision so y'all can see, well, this is what could be on Ring of Honor. They don't want it. TBS don't want it. TNT don't want Ring of Honor. Hell, the streaming service don't want Ring of Honor. So why you keep having it? Get rid of it. And when
twofold here.
Huh?
No, go ahead, cook, because then I want to say something.
Okay, get rid of it. Once you get rid of it, honestly, what Tony Khan should have did the first time is he should have bought Ring of Honor. And I'm sorry for the fans that are like, oh my God, Ring of Honor is going out of business. Bro, we already got... I was always a TNA fan over Ring of Honor. Sorry. So, TNA came back. I'm more interested in looking at TNA. I look at more things online from TNA because I can know where to watch TNA opposed to Ring of Honor. What you could have did was this. Get Ring of Honor. Have a one night stand show for Ring of Honor. Have it go out in a blaze of glory. Take all that Ring of Honor content and then put it on Max. Let that be your library. They can, whatever you want to watch Ring of Honor stuff, go on Max and y'all can watch the old stuff and retire all them championships and all that kind of stuff from Ring of Honor. If you still want to, and then maybe a couple years down the line, if somebody was interested in trying to bring it back as a show, you can do that. But you got to be able to sell the product that you got first. And that's AEW. You haven't been doing a great job selling that. Now, for instance, I was just talking about it online. This means nothing. This is still something personal. Because I still buy the AEW DVDs. Now, since my money has been funny, because, I have a family and kids to take care of, I want to buy... Yeah, exactly. I want to buy... Because, you got everybody out there that does YouTube stuff like that. I got kids, too. I'm like, everybody's life is different, bro. And if right now... This podcast y'all listen to, we don't get paid for this. This is passion. We don't get paid for this. Some do. That's your job. This is not my job. But anyway, I digress on that one. I buy the AEW DVDs. Now, I have been sitting here waiting for, because I wanted to buy Revolution from 2023. That's the Iron Man match between MJF and Bryan Danielson, right? Mm-hmm. And I said, well, when the Sting one comes out, I want to buy them both. I am still waiting for them to release that DVD or Blu-ray. They just took Revolution off the market because it seemed like if something has either been sold out or hasn't been sold that much at all, they take it off the market. I can't find it, and there's 3 new Ring of Honor DVDs up here. There's Final Battle 2022. Really? And then Final Battle 2023. And then Supercard of Honor 2023. I don't care about Ring of Honor. You have not given me a reason to care about Ring of Honor. So why do I want to watch Ring of Honor? Are there Ring of Honor fans out there? Sure. But that's not me. And that's not what I tune in to see on Wednesdays or or Fridays or Saturdays. That's not what I want to watch. I want to watch AEW. But AEW been spread too fucking thin at this point, to the point where now it's affecting their attendance and their shows, and you got to stop being so biased. And you got to stop being so on your soapbox that you don't want to admit that you got a problem you have to change. Everybody's so focused on giving y'all what WWE will never give y'all. Okay, let me tell you something. There's no billionaire in this world. They don't even have to just be a white billionaire. There is no billionaire on this world that has gotten to that billions by being a nice guy. None.
There's a saying, do you want to have money or do you want to have friends?
Yeah, and this is business. You can't cater to everybody in business. There is shit that WWE does not do, but look at WrestleMania in Philly and how successful how successful that was.
Never forget the burr.
Yeah, exactly. Never forget the burr at all. I'll say so. That was but look how we got to. Do you think if I had asked you, Quattro, in let's go before Janelle Grant, let's go before the allegations, let's go before 2020. If it's 2019, I ask you, WrestleMania is coming to Philly in 2024 with what we were watching in 2019. What would you have said?
I'll watch it on TV at Max. I don't want to see that.
I will be honest, I would like, for the experience I go, but the card is going to suck ass because you're probably going to get Brock versus Roman 5, 6, or 7.
Mm-hmm. I thought they was going to fight every year to the end of time.
There would be, if we still had that, there would be no Tribal Chief, there would be no Rock probably, there would be no Cody, there would be none, there would be no sisters teaming up together like that, there would not be no Sami Zayn beating Gunther, there would not be no R-Truth WrestleMania moment unless he's running around for the 24/7 championship. But they made changes. AEW has to make so now. Granted, I'm giving them credit where credit is due. This new storyline with the Bucks and Jack Perry, even though Tony Khan is not an on-screen personnel, he will never fit that role. They are trying to do something with that, especially with coming to the Double or Nothing. So we gotta let this cook for a little bit. But you gotta do other things. You gotta build up so you can't just be like, hey, on Dynamite, just to try to pop a rating, we're gonna get Will Ospreay versus Orange Cassidy Trent. They're gonna give a 5-star match on a Dynamite. Have people pay for that. Build that up and have them pay for that. But right now, my immediate thing is Ring of Honor is being stretched. I mean, AEW is being stretched too thin. Y'all should probably drop Ring of Honor. Bring them stars over to AEW, and that way you can have more to do on Collision and more to do on Dynamite. And also, I think you should probably get rid of Rampage also. Because Rampage has turned into nothing but Velocity.
Can it at least be live wire?
No, because at least live wire we had live call-ins. No, it turned into nothing but Velocity, bro, y'all. And even with that, y'all just go in there and y'all just do like, hey, wrestling matches, the same shit y'all do on Dynamite and the same shit y'all do on Collision. No, get rid of it. You don't need it. Get rid of Rampage. Stick to Dynamite. Stick to Collision, and then see if you can move your content over to Max. Because right now, if you miss an AEW pay-per-view, and if you're not a physical media person like myself, where are you going to go see these shows? Where? At least TNA has on Pluto TV a Impact channel where you can watch OT and pay-per-views and shows.
Impact channel.
Huh?
I came across that one day. I was like, what is this?
Exactly. Okay. You can watch all the old Impacts. It's their own channel. It just keeps going from all the old Impact and TNA days, and you can watch. I just watched the TNA pay-per-view from 2002, and then I watched the anniversary of 2016. They have them all there. There's a place to watch TNA, and then for the new stuff, they have the YouTube channel that you can go and watch the stuff that's currently happening on TNA. That's how, and they just made this TNA change in 2014. I mean 2024 to go back to TNA from Impact. That's how you gotta take little changes to make them. You have to make changes, and they cannot make everybody happy. And I think one of the biggest ones is to get rid of Ring of Honor.
So, going into some of the stuff you said, also some ideas of my own.
Yeah.
Okay. I think it's wild, and I don't know how to say this else speaks volumes. You can watch WoW on TV, but you can't watch Ring of Honor. Anyone out there has watched WoW, WOW, Women's of Wrestling, may understand what I'm saying. Next thing. Would it work?
I'm sorry, I was going to say wow.
Right. Listen, if you have watched WoW, this is nothing along the lines of hating on women wrestling. I'm just telling you, watch WoW. Then give me your comments back, please.
I'd rather watch the WoW from like 2000. You know what I'm saying? To be honest with you.
You know what? I just watched the Netflix series of Glow. Let's try that. So,
I actually like Glow.
Glow was good. Yeah, I like Glow a lot. How about we almost go to Ring of Honor? So Ring of Honor was popular back in the day because it had a lot of current stars of today getting their footing and introducing them to a semi-professional set in Ring of Honor. I think that's the most best and respectable way to put that. Like, would you agree with that?
Yes, it also had that new concept of the whole having the Ring of Honor. For your opponent.
Could we do that with new and young upper-coming wrestlers the same way WWE has NXT? It's not the same thing. Let's be honest. It's not the same thing, nor am I saying it should be. But I'm saying the idea how WWE has NXT to almost groom newer talent, and then you pretty much live in NXT until you can make it to WWE. Could we have this new and younger talent? And you know what? Just like NXT or WWE, you have somebody go back every once in a while because you need the old people to teach the new people. Couldn't Ring of Honor do that? And that way you're not fully trying to satirize what you already have. That way you have established AEW talent and established Ring of Honor talent instead of trying to force your Ring of Honor talent onto your AEW time where you have other AEW wrestlers that should be there in that time.
It's possible.
Now, as I say, I'm not saying it will work, but you know what worked. So do what worked. Why are we reinventing the wheel here? Go back to your home and do what you did. If you had that, so you got this newer talent in Ring of Honor, one or two people go back and you're building that talent, and then it almost gives you a WWE NXT feel. AEW, in essence, could have their own NXT with this.
Yeah,
with Ring of Honor.
But I didn't cut you off. But the problem with that, Quattro, is they can't sell it to nobody. See, the difference with NXT and WWE is WWE has had decades of history that when television companies look at them, they know that they're bringing in a profit. They're looking at AEW right now and they're trying to think, what the fuck is the profit here? I know Warner, loves them because it brings ratings to TBS and TNT, some highest ratings that some of their other shows don't get. However, to turn Ring of Honor to like their NXT, they can do that. But then the thing about NXT is I'm about to say NXT first used to be a Hulu thing. Then it went to W Network.
Yes. And
then they was able to sell it to USA and now it's on television. But it takes time to do that.
I agree. If that this is almost it's a rebuild or a rebranding, what I'm arguing.
Exactly, yeah. So they can do that because, first of all, it's not to say that AEW in the first 5 years of their existence haven't been mega successful. Hell, TNA would have loved to have the first 5 years that AEW did.
Mm-hmm.
So hell, a lot of wrestling companies would love to have the first 5 years that AEW did. But does not necessarily mean that you can't make changes to keep on going to have another extravagant 5 years. It's only been around 5 years. There's more that they necessarily have to do. So I like your concept, your idea, but honestly, you wouldn't need Ring of Honor. You can turn Rampage into that.
I could get behind we no longer need Rampage. This will be the Ring of Honor hour. Yeah, because I don't think you want to do it longer than an hour. I think if memory serves right, and correct me if I'm wrong, didn't NXT start off as just an hour and they had to earn a second one?
Yes.
Then let's do that. Ring of Honor's an hour. You gotta earn your second one because everybody uses Rampage as the throwaway show now. You got an idea of and you know what? Yes, I am saying you're copying WWE, but guess what? It worked. and you trying to establish yourself. You got a Dynamite Collision feel the same way you got a Raw and SmackDown feel. Rampage could be Ring of Honor Rampage if you just really want to keep the name.
But and also her said it's a time slot also. Nope. Who's watching wrestling at 10 o'clock on Friday? I mean, I know you watching it because you be at work.
Yep.
And ain't nothing else on. And I get that, but honestly,
not at work. It would not be watched. If I was not at work, it would not be watched. Yeah. But apparently, where wrestling has worked this way out, if we were going one night of wrestling a week, which we're kind of at, which I think is a lot. Let me just put that out there. Mm-hmm. There's not another night you're going to put that on that it's going to work because it's going to make anything else too long. Because, A, you don't want to battle anyone else. That's not a good idea. You're not going to win. Don't start a fight. You're going to lose. So now you are now forced into this time. Look, we got a Monday show. We got a Tuesday show. We got a Wednesday show. Unless you're going to battle TNA, we don't have a Friday show. Yes, we do. I'm sorry. We Smackdown, stupid. We have a Friday show, and we have a Saturday show. So unless you reaching back into time, sounding like the radio here in the city.
Yeah.
And you gonna put Ring of Honor Rampage Sunday nights at 8.
That wouldn't do good because that's going to be the day that they host it. I mean, unless you want to do like a Sunday Night Heat, and then of course you do it that way, right? And that could be your new 0 hour going into the pay per view. But honestly, you want to sell your pay per view. You don't want to sell Ring of Honor. That's why I say get rid of it.
I see. You're saying at the end of the day, I think when Mr. A&E is saying it, you could correct me if I'm wrong. You gotta get rid of it because you don't got a place for it.
You don't. You're absolutely right. You don't have a place for it. And guess what? When you get rid of it, nobody gonna miss it, except for the diehard Ring of Honor fans. And I think we can count them.
I want to let you know I went to the last Supercard. I'm not saying I didn't have a good time. I didn't say it had a nice fight feel. I can tell you there was enough space in those seats, good sir. And you're just looking around, and I'm watching you use seat fillers because I can see it.
Yeah.
You don't. If this is your Mania, if this is your Super Bowl, if this is your World Series, if this is your Stanley Cup. Yes, I've been watching a little bit more sports, so I knew some references.
Exactly.
You should have been able to feel this. If you don't feel anything all year, you should feel this. And you didn't.
Exactly. So, what they need to do is get rid of that, bring Athena and them over here. Bring them. Hell, even Nyla Rose been on Ring of Honor. I'm like, damn, forgot about Nyla Rose. I see Riho with once every 6 months, it seems like. Barely see any Ruby Soho anymore. And they just be leaving and going over to Ring of Honor, but there's no story, there's no telling what happened, there's no announcing that they let. It's just nothing, y'all. Get rid of it, and that way you can focus on what you have to focus on in AEW. And when you're able to just put all your focus on one thing, then you can actually make some good quality content and also cut shit back. Don't have a fucking Texas death match on Dynamite. What you doing? When they had that death match between Orange Cassidy and oh god, what's the guy's name from the Don Callis family? I think it is. I can't remember what his name was.
Tanishki, or are you talking about the guy that used to be part of the British Invasion?
Maybe.
I don't think the name is the British Invasion, but
yeah. And it had a death match on it. Like, first of all, I don't want to see dumb techs on live TV. Make them pay for that. Make them pay for that, because see, now when things happen, it's not special anymore. When The Rock beat the shit out of Cody Rhodes and then Cody Rhodes started bleeding, now everybody had to tune in because, oh my god, it's blood, because we don't see blood that long. That's just the way he does things. for AEW, you can still have a little bit more blood, but then Moxley bleeding every fucking night.
Yeah.
You don't need color in all your matches because then all of a sudden color becomes bad. Like right now for this rivalry with, like, honestly, if you want to put some heat on it, y'all should have beat Kenny Omega and Tony Khan to a bloody mess. That would have put some heat on there. But blood's been so overdone, it's just like, you know, for them not to do blood is the shocking part. And then it comes to the situation that it comes with their video game. Chubbs just sent me a picture. It's on $3 for physical copy right now. Where, I mean, you had to pay for more online. They're going through their season 4 pass right now, which looks like it's going to be their last season. But once again, you can't just rely on the fear of the boogeyman, because eventually people are not going to be fearing him no more, or it goes away. And that's what they've been doing, and it's very unfortunate to see AEW in this kind of spot, because I love professional wrestling. And when I see my girl Sasha or Mercedes over there, when I see Okada over there, Takeshita over there, Christian, Adam Copeland, Swerve, when I see Keith Lee, when I see these people over there that I really enjoy watching, Athena, y'all need to bring y'all. I'm like, y'all need to showcase them more. Come on now. But we had to get that out, y'all. But let's go on to the predictions for Double or Nothing. So I know I'm gonna be driving the wheel on this one, Quattro. I think they have a 9-match card. It's a pretty good card. Cause I have been following at least Dynamite. I have not been watching too much Collision, but I have been following Dynamite because it's fucking Saturday. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just.
I tried to watch Collision a couple times, as I told you. I just couldn't hook me. I tried, wasn't there for it.
And the funny thing is, they be booking Collision like it's the wrestling show. I'm just like, Shaq, that on Dynamite too. Where's the story show?
Yeah.
And yeah, y'all call me WWE Mark. All y'all want to say, I like my wrestling to have story to it also. Good wrestling and a story. Wrestling doesn't work as a professional sport as they want it to work. It doesn't work like that.
Because when we sit around and talk about all our great memories from wrestling, you're going to get more people. It's like, yo, I remember when The Rock said this, or when Stone Cold said this, more than, man, that technical match that Eddie Guerrero had. Like, you get more story answers than you get match answers. So you alive when people say, oh, I care about the wrestling more. You don't. Story's bigger. Let's not play this game.
Exactly. Well, let's go over give predictions for this card. What I think is going to go down. And because after this, we're heading into Forbidden Door. And then after Forbidden Door, we are doing All In, I believe. And that is going to be in Wembley Stadium. And I really hope they are able to pack it. Because if they got 72,000 last year. Now, once again, it's different. International markets will sell out because they don't get that much wrestling at all. But if
No, go ahead. I have a question when you're done.
Yeah, but if they get lower, that may be a telling sign. But what was you gonna say?
Why? And you know what? I don't know what WWE did differently back in the day. Why does it take so long to get these things out on DVD and other physical media? I understand from what I remember when I was younger, whatever it was about a month later that thing was out on DVD. Do they not feel like they're not losing money by waiting years down the road till they release it? Why not reboot? Like the DVDs, like you was talking about earlier.
No, I'm saying, which company?
AEW.
Okay. Like I'm about to say, because WWE don't do physical media anymore.
Right, because it'll be like, oh, AEW 2023, All In just came out. Just came out? Come on. Why is that taking so long?
Yeah, I don't understand why it's taking so long. And also, once again, and I'm also kind of just mad because you're putting up all this Ring of Honor shit. where I'm like, first of all, there are 3 shows that fans I would want to see: World's End, Revolution, which is Sting's final match, and Dynasty when Swerve won. Those are the DVDs the Blu-rays I'm waiting on. The last AEW up to date Blu-ray that they had I'm on the site right now that they have on here is Wrestle Dream. That's when Adam Copeland first came. I want to buy Wrestle Dream.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. So then, but after that, it's this pre-order of the Ring of Honor Final Battle 2023 and then Ring of Honor 2022. I'm like, I don't care. I don't know. I don't care about any of that stuff, to be honest with you. And so it's like I'm waiting for the AEW stuff. Like, where is Sting's final match? I want Revolution 2024 from Sting's final match. I want Dynasty, which is probably not gonna be out yet because it just happened. But I want World's End. You know, where they had the death match between Swerve and Adam Page, and Adam Cole revealed himself to be the devil. Like, I want that. I don't want this stuff. So yeah, I don't know what is taking them long on that front. You know, to be honest with you, I just know that the ones that I want, I'm trying to get before they are taken off the site. Because when they take it off the site, you don't see them almost ever again.
Right, and it's just frustrating. We all know we live in the world of do it now or miss it.
Yeah.
You listen. For everybody know, Mr. A&E, he do all the editing of all his old videos. That's all him. Ain't none of us helping him. I am not helping him. Good on you. So when it takes him over a month to get out that WrestleMania React video, unfortunately, there's people who's like, that was a month ago. So if people are doing that on that, how are they feeling about this pay-per-view that happened 12 months ago? Oh, I'm going to watch it now? I don't care now. Why y'all missing money by taking that long to get it done? What is happening why it has to take that long?
Come on. I really don't know. I honestly really don't know on that one.